Coming your way from the broiler known as Bethpage Ballpark. Good afternoon, everyone. As the Barnstormers and Long Island Ducks wrap up a 4-game series. Earlier today, League President Rick White contacted all the ball clubs and said, if you want to play 7 innings today, go ahead. But both managers and the front office of the host club have to agree to it. And that's exactly what happened here on Long Island. Everybody huddled up and decided to play a 7-inning game. The heat index, the last I checked, was 110 degrees in central Islip this afternoon. It is almost unbearably hot here on Long Island as we wrap up this 4-game series. The Barnstormers will send John Anderson to the mound. Anderson 5-5 on the year. He's looking for his first win in exactly a month. The last one came on the 21st of June against this very same Long Island ball club. John picked up a 4-3 victory that day. And he'll match up against a right-hander by the name of Kevin McAvoy, whom we have not seen as of yet. McAvoy comes in with a record of 0-2 into the ball game this afternoon. The Barnstormers are trying to avoid yet another series sweep. The second half has not gone well. The Barnstormers are off to a 1-8 start, and at the moment it looks like they were going to trail by 6.5 games in the Freedom Division. York was on the way to another victory unless New Britain rallied and rallied big in the bottom half of the 7th inning. York will be 8-2, their best ever start to the second half. The Barnstormers are going to eventually have to take things into their own hands and take care of York if they are to get into the second half race. The Barnstormers are off to this 1-8 start and just looking to jump on the bus after a victory and ride back home to Clipper Magazine Stadium, where the club will open a 6-game homestand on Tuesday. There have been some bright spots to the week, though, and we decided we were going to concentrate on the good stuff with manager Ross Peoples. I'll be back with the skipper in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Wow, season 15. Can you believe it? Gockenauer Appliance is proud to be back partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers again this season, and has been since day one. We are also proud to be celebrating our 70th year of business this season, and wanted to thank all of you for your support in business over all these years. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about some great offers and giveaways we have for you during this 15th season of Barnstormers Baseball.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. It's Sunday, so we're catching up with manager Ross Peoples. And Ross, I think this week has been a little bit of a shock. It's had a couple of highlights, though. Let's talk a little bit about Devon Torrance and what he's brought to this ball club, and the fact that everybody was able to celebrate his first career home run, and it was a big one the other night.
Oh, yeah. You know, Devon's one of them guys that, you know, everybody pulls for. You know, he gets along with everybody. The way he goes about his business, he's a great human being. But I think that, you know, even when he hit the home run, everybody was so happy for him. But I think the biggest thing with Devon is, you know, I brought him in as not playing for a while, and just watching him progress, you know, from month to month, week to week, you know, watching his at-bats early in the season to watching his at-bats now, you know, how much more competitive they are. And he's not as much overmatched as he was earlier. And, you know, it's a great thing to see as a manager for sure. But, you know, you got to give hats off to, you know, JB works with him a lot. Some of the guys talk with him a lot, but, you know, just his will to listen and learn is, I think, the biggest thing that's intriguing.
You know, he hits the home run. Everybody gets behind it. The ball club wins the Thursday night game. Everybody's on a high. It carries over into Friday night. The club's up 5-2, and then Devon gets hurt, and it was like the air went out of the balloon.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those freak incidents. Lucky enough, it's not, bad. I think he thought it was a little bit more than what it was as well. But, he did it on a slide in the second and, jammed his knee a little bit. But I think he thought it might have been his ACL. And I think after the game, I was told that I think it's okay. Could have, strained his his LCL, I think what you call it. But, luckily, he's walking around fine on it today, a couple of days afterwards. So, maybe another day off, he should be back ready to go.
Yeah, some of the other highlights of the week. Andrew Applin's bat is starting to come around. He had been out of action for about 6 weeks before he joined the ball club, and we're starting to see the benefits, and he looks like he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, I think he's a really good player. He came to us, like you said, sitting at home a little bit, trying to wait and see if something happens with affiliated teams. And he's starting to swing it a little bit better. And, definitely after Gamache leaves, Casey Hobson, Destin Hood, or Applin is going to have to, step up. Hopefully 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 3. He's going to have to step up and, produce what Dan did a little bit. So, we've been playing a little bit better ball. Make some guy thought last night was actually a good plus, even though we lost, of, coming back late in the game and make it interesting and, having opportunities. That's the biggest thing.
Buddy Bauman got his first win in over 2 months this week. And, he's just been grinding and giving the ball club a solid somewhere from 5 to 7 or 8 innings every time out, depending on how early his pitch count climbs. You had to be happy for Buddy. Him and Davies, we've been struggling to put runs on the board for him. And, I think that's what's so intriguing about, Applin, I guess you can say, is, our offense hasn't been that great. I guess you can say the season, but pretty much recently for sure. And, having some of those guys start to look like they're going to come around is definitely a plus. And, it seems like every time them two guys pitches, we don't score much. But I guess that's how baseball goes, and you just keep going out there and playing and grinding every day and see what happens. Today is a day. The heat is oppressive. The decision was made to shorten the game to 7 innings. Tell us how that came about.
Well, I guess just because of the heat, the way it is, they decided for health reasons to shorten the game. But I don't know, Dave, my dad once told me before, heat's a state of mind. So I think you do have to be conscious in it a little bit, but, a lot of times your mind controls your body a little bit. And, we can't worry about the heat. We got to know it's there and, do what we prepare for it. But we got to go out there and play, and hopefully the heat don't affect our minds where, mistakes happen. We can go out there and, play fundamentally sound baseball.
Obviously, you and Anya Holmberg have to keep a little bit closer of an eye, especially on John Anderson today.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely, we do. With the heat, John's a bigger guy, and really you got to keep an eye on everybody, because you just never know how some people react to the heat. But you definitely got to watch Anderson, who's pitching today, and we'll keep a close eye out on him from inning to inning, and see how it goes. It might be one of the things where we shorten him up a little bit.
The good news is the heat's supposed to break, and we have a homestand coming up, and the temperatures are not going to be like this for the 6 days at home.
Yeah, that'll be definitely a plus, especially with our camps coming up. When I got the call earlier today about the heat and shortening the game, I was going to see if they can throw a pool in left center and right center that we can jump in between innings. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's definitely good with our camps coming up and, the ball games and all, that we get a little bit, cooler temperatures for sure.
Don't tempt them. It could be the next thing down the road in baseball. But in any event, tough week. Nate Reed's coming back Tuesday. We saw him this past Tuesday night. The numbers were not good, but he didn't look bad.
No, he didn't. Probably going to take a couple hours to get some rust off of him. Hadn't pitched since last year, or since winter ball, should I say? But his arm did look good. Actually, watching him and then looking at the velo chart and all, his arm was a little more plus than what I would think it would have been. You know, his location was off. Probably his pitches, as far as the sharpness of his pitches to where he wanted to throw them, stuff like that was probably a little down too. But that's normal when you're you haven't been on a hill in a game situation in a while.
And probably the wrong team to have that kind of a night against, because they're just loaded with that right-handed power.
Yeah, they are. They're aggressive, scrappy team, and they don't miss the fastball much.
Well, Ross, thanks for taking time out today. Stay cool in the dugout in the third base coach's box, and hopefully the ball club can come home on a positive note, and we can have a fun bus ride in beach traffic.
Yep, I agree. Hopefully we can.
Ross Peoples joining me on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll be back with starting lineups in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Hi, Adam Gockenauer back with you again to tell you about some of the great offers we have for you all season long. Stop in every day to register for a team-signed Barnstormers jersey. No purchase necessary. One lucky winner will win this very special jersey at the end of the season. Did you know we also have the best deals on the full line of Weber gas grills? Hey, mention this ad and receive free delivery on every Weber grill you purchase during the season. The best brands at the best prices. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Welcome back from Bethpage Ballpark, where today we wrap up a 4-game series. The Ducks have won the first 3. They have all been nail-biters. Long Island winning the first game 9-5, but that was a walk-off grand slam, and then 2-1 and 5-4 since then. Lancaster has certainly been in every ball game here this weekend. For the Barnstormers today, it will be Michael Martinez leading off at shortstop. Caleb Gindel will move over to center field and bat second. The third baseman batting third is Joe Terdoslavich. Andrew Applin is the cleanup batter and left fielder. Destin Hood will bat fifth and be the DH. Casey Hobson is the first baseman batting sixth. Josh Bell with the start at second base hitting seventh. Anderson De La Rosa is catching and batting eighth. And Greg Golson makes the start in right field. Golson batting ninth for the Barnstormers here today. John Anderson will be on the hill. 5-5 is Anderson's record coming in. His ERA is 4.54. And for Long Island, Ezekiel Carrera will lead off. He will be in center field. The left fielder batting second is Darby Myers. TJ Rivera will bat third. He will play second base. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder LJ Mazzilli. Lou Ford will bat fifth. He is the designated hitter. David Washington will be the first baseman. He will bat sixth. Ramon Cabrera is doing the catching, batting seventh. A relative newcomer, John Apostolo, will be at third base. He is batting eighth. Vladimir Frias is the shortstop in the number 9 position for the Long Island Ducks. And the starting pitcher is one-time Boston Red Sox farmhand Kevin McAvoy, who now lives in the Boston area. He is 0-2 for the Ducks. His ERA is 7.11. Those are the lineups for today's ball game. We'll wrap up this 4-game series. And again, a reminder, we're only going 7 today in this series finale, a waiver from the Atlantic League. The only game that went 9 today was the Sugarland Skeeters and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. So everything else, a 7-inning ball game, including this one, the 5:05 start from Bethpage Ballpark. Play-by-play baseball will be coming your way next, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
The tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Well, we get to reminisce all of the Long Island Ducks championships once again on the video board out in left center field, including that play back in 2012, the Dan Lyons bunt that defeated the Barnstormers in Game 5 of the championship series that year. The Barnstormers, it's the only time that the club has lost in the championship series. The Barnstormers, of course, 3 times in the last 8 seasons have lost in the first round of the playoffs with 1 championship and 1 trip to the final. So up until 2019, this has been a pretty good decade of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. This season is, we hope, an anomaly. The Barnstormers 25-54. Now overall, the club is 7-29 in the last 36 games, hoping for a change of fortunes here this afternoon. John Anderson trying to pitch the Barnstormers to victory. He would be winning his 6th of the year. He is the club's leading winner on the season with just 5 victories on the campaign. If you had told me a couple of months ago that 5 would be the leading winner on this ball club, I would have asked the question, how many people got signed away from the Barnstormers? That has not happened to the pitching staff. Anderson has 5 wins. Kyle Davies and Matt Marksberry are tied with second with 4 wins on the campaign. The Long Island Ducks have yet to hit the field here at Bethpage Ballpark in this searing heat late on a Sunday afternoon with the Barnstormers taking on the Ducks in the series finale. I anticipate that we will hit beach traffic on the way out of here. Sometimes it can take you 2 hours to get through New York City when you leave Long Island after a Sunday game, though on a weekend like this, the thinking is that people are going to stay at the beach as long as they possibly can. And if this game is short enough, we might be able to actually beat the beach traffic back to the city and to get home in a normal amount of time. The Ducks hit the field. We have a color guard over on the first base side. The introductions of everybody on the field by name, rank, and serial number continue here at Bethpage Ballpark as we anticipate the start of the 4th and final game of this series, the 10th and final game for the Barnstormers at Bethpage Ballpark here in 2019. This is our last trip to Long Island on the air, and just like most places have been, it has been relatively painful to come here on the road, but the Barnstormers haven't had much better of a season at home than they have on the road. For the first time all year, though, the Barnstormers have a higher winning percentage at home than they do on the road. Not that it's a great difference. And hopefully that will change after today and then change back starting on Tuesday. A 6-game homestand upcoming with the Somerset Patriots and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs visiting Clipper Magazine Stadium over the next week. Then the Barnstormers head to Texas for a full week, and that really pretty much will wrap up the road schedule for the Barnstormers. A couple trips to Somerset, a couple trips to York, 1 more to Southern Maryland, and we do have a very short trip to New Britain, a very short trip to High Point coming up in September. Right now we're going to send you down to the field. Here's our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose for stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, who were so gallantly and the Rockies red glare. Their bonds bursting its hair gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say the star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready to go with the finale of a 4-game series at Bethpage Ballpark. It's 325 down the lines and 400 to straightaway center field at the home of the Long Island Ducks, the 20th season of Ducks baseball here at Bethpage Ballpark. They are the second oldest franchise currently running in the Atlantic League, and believe it or not, the Barnstormers are third behind Somerset and Long Island. And after the Barnstormers, it is York, Southern Maryland, Sugar Land, New Britain, and High Point. Where the league is going from this stage forward is anybody's guess. There are other markets that the league is interested in eventually getting into. At one point, Rockland, New York has been mentioned as wanting to come in to this league. They're more or less the boulder, pardon the pun, on which the Can-Am Association is built, because they are the Rockland Boulders. And there has been some talk of Rockland entering this league. There is talk of the Atlantic League being one of the players to go into Pawtucket and McCoy Stadium once that is vacated for the 2021 season. And there's talk of some other markets perhaps to match up with High Point or to match up with Sugar Land, or both down the road. So the travel becomes a little bit easier, and those clubs aren't left as complete outliers around the league. Kevin McAvoy is on the hill for the Long Island Ducks. He lives in Concord, Massachusetts, was born in Syracuse, New York. McAvoy stands 6'4". He goes 210 pounds. Today is his 26th birthday. The Barnstormers hoping his cake does not rise in the oven as they look to take care of him here today. Michael Martinez will lead things off. Martinez, the switch-hitting shortstop, is at 266. He has 5 home runs on the season, 31 driven in. The first pitch from McAvoy is up and away for a ball, 1-0. Jorge Teran has the plate today. Warren Nicholson is at first base. Bill Worthington over at third. 1-0 to Martinez, batting out of a slightly open stance. He awaits the delivery, and McAvoy misses wide for ball 2. Kevin McAvoy has allowed 19 hits in 19 innings. He has walked 13. That's been problematic. He's also struck out 13, 0-2 with a 7.11 earned run average. Martinez will take a strike over at the knees, and it's now 2-1. John Apostolo makes the start at third base. The shortstop is a guy we know well, Vladimir Frias. DJ Rivera at second, David Washington at first. 2-1, Martinez pulls a grounder foul. And Melvin Mercedes, coaching first base, waves that one by. 2-2. Darby Myers is in left, Ezekiel Carrera in center. And LJ Mazzilli moves to the outfield. He is in right for today's ball game. Ramon Cabrera is doing the catching. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Martinez. Caleb Gindel waiting on Dak. Here's the motion and the pitch. A breaking ball swung on and missed. Martinez is gone on strikes, 1 away. Gindel will step in. McAvoy has spent his career previously in the Boston Red Sox organization. He signed back in 2014. He was an 11-game winner in the Carolina League in 2015. Went up to Portland, stalled, experienced, it looks like, some injuries. And then last year, he was 1-8 between single A and double A in the Boston organization, making his comeback here with the Ducks. He is high to Gindel. Ball 1, no strikes. Caleb at 3-0-1. with a dozen home runs and 54 driven in, into 1 for 3 with a pair of walks here last night. The windup and the pitch. Gindel pulls a line drive right to David Washington. 2 up and 2 down here in the first inning. L3 on the scorecard for Gindel. Joe Terdoslavich, the switch-hitting third baseman, will come to the plate. Joe's had a great series here on the island. He is 6 for 9 with 3 runs batted in the first 2 games of this series, and his average has been given a boost. He's at 294 now with 13 home runs, 48 runs batted in, a quest to get back to 300 for the 2019 season for Terdoslavich. 2 down and the base is empty. The windup and the pitch. Terdoslavich takes a strike over at the knees. It is 0-1. McAvoy signed out of Bryant College in Massachusetts, part of the Northeast Collegiate League, as he swings a breaking ball in for a second strike to Terdoslavich. He was 16-4 there his last 2 years. Pretty good stats. The 0-2, high and tight. Leaning back out of the way, Terdoslavich, ball 1 and 2 strikes. The Red Sox took him in the 4th round, in fact, back in 2014. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the windup and the pitch drops low, handled by Cabrera. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. The Barnstormers have gone through this series so far without hitting a home run. They only have 15 on the road the entire year. Now in 38 road games. Here's the pitch. Terdoslavich cuts and he misses. And a brilliant start to the day for Kevin McAvoy. Nothing across in the top half of the first inning, end of a half. Lancaster nothing, Long Island coming up.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
The Long Island Ducks will step in the bottom of the first inning as Hector Sanchez, who is a very animated fellow on the field, dances his way backwards to the third base coach's box. He's a one-man review on the field. Might have some kind of a career in show business if this baseball thing doesn't work out. Actually, it's worked out very well for Hector. He's coaching third base because Lou Ford is in the lineup today. Ezekiel Carrera, a left-handed hitter, leading off against John Anderson. John's first pitch is over but low. Ball 1, no strikes. Anderson has thrown 81 in the third innings this year. He's allowed 93 hits, 41 earned runs. He has walked 24, struck out 72, 5-5, and a 4.54 ERA. He's low again. And Carrera bats at 2 balls, no strikes. Joe Terdoslavich up on the grass at third and way off the line against Carrera. The shortstop is Michael Martinez. Josh Bell at second. Casey Hobson is at first. Anderson comes back with the 2-0 and finally satisfies Jorge Tarana, called strike at the knees. It is 2-1. Andrew Applin in left field, Caleb Gindel in center. Greg Golson is the right field. The outfield is cheating way around to the left. The infield the other way. Breaking ball stays inside. Carrera bats it 3-1. As we open up the bottom of the first inning, no score. The Ducks went down in order. 2 strikeouts around a line drive in the top half of the first inning. Now the 3-1 pitch is laced foul to the left and out of play. Anderson dukes out with Carrera at 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the lower half of the first inning. Other games in the Atlantic League, they all started earlier today. Somerset in 7 innings defeated High Point. 4-1 was the final. Lashed foul and out of play down the left field side, still 3-2. York over New Britain 10-7. And Sugarland in the 9-inning game today defeated Southern Maryland 6-0. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Ezekiel Carrera. John Anderson into the motion. The payoff pitch high and inside. He has walked the leadoff batter. And a 7-pitch at bat at that. Leadoff man is on. Just the 25th walk for Anderson on the year. Darby Myers now will step in. Myers hitting .237 with no home runs, 4 runs batted in. He is, however, 7 out of 19 against the Barnstormers. So I wonder why Sugarland and Southern Maryland decided to play 9 innings when everybody else has gone with a 7-inning game. It was every bit as hot in Waldorf, Maryland as it's been around the league. Though if you looked at the heat index the last couple of days, it was hotter here on Long Island than anybody else. Myers tries to bunt up the first base line, fouls it back, 0-1. It got to 111 yesterday as far as the heat index was concerned, and 110 today. It's going to be cooler, at least judging by the 15-day forecast. It will be cooler the entire week we're in Sugarland than it has been here on Long Island. We're actually going to have to go to Texas to cool off. How many people get to say that? Fouled off. It's 0-2. But I believe there was another trip to Texas, maybe even the one earlier this year. It was warmer in New Britain than it was down in Sugarland. But I know there's been a year in the past where we have gone from somewhere in this part of the league down to Sugarland, and we've had to go to Sugarland to get cooler. No balls, 2 strikes. The count to Myers. Here's the set by Anderson. The pitch grounded, and that is a fair ball inside the bag at third down the line. Carrera is going to turn third. He's on his way toward the plate. There will be a relay throw for Martinez late. Carrera scores on the double by Darby Myers, and Long Island is already out to a 1-0 lead. Just fair inside the third base bag and down the line. And Long Island takes the lead. It took Applin a while to dig the ball out from that tricky corner down there, a corner that very much came into play with the Barnstormers in their very first game here of this season. But where that ball was, Applin did have a throw back to the infield. It can go into a small area down the left field line where you do not have an angle of a throw back to the infield, and that was what affected Zach Shank on a play that won a ball game for Long Island back on Memorial Day. TJ Rivera steps in. Rivera batting .308 with 2 doubles and 3 runs driven in. The runner takes off for third. The pitch high and outside. No chance for a throw. Myers has his 9th stolen base of the season, and already the Long Island Ducks are taking the Barnstormers to task. Plenty of baseball left here today, though 2 innings less than normal. Myers, the runner at third. The Barnstormers are going to keep Martinez back, and now Josh Bell is sent back also. John Anderson works to the plate. The 1-0 pitch hits the third base bag on a smash down the line. In to score is Myers. Rivera will hold it first, and it is now 2-0 in favor of Long Island here in the bottom half of the first inning. Another hot ground ball right down the line. This one so much so that it came right off the third base bag, and That's the only reason Rivera's not standing at second base at the moment. L.J. Mazzilli, the right fielder, comes to the plate. Mazzilli batting .275 with 6 home runs, 35 runs batted in. The Barnstormers trail by 2 here in the first inning. We've given you some of the numbers this club. Now, this being the 37th game, has been outscored 209 to 126. Upstairs for a ball, 1-0 on Mazzilli. But if you look at it over the 36-game span that's just gone by, the opposing teams have averaged 5 3/4 runs exactly per game, while the Barnstormers have averaged 3.5. Next offering is driven down the right field line, trying to stay straight, but it will not. A foul ball deep into the corner. And Mazzilli bats against Anderson at 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 runs are home in the bottom half of the first inning for the Long Island Ducks. Carrera with the leadoff walk. Darby Myers a double inside the third base bag, and Rivera hits the bag for a single. This after the Barnstormers went down in 1-2-3 fashion in the top of the inning. We'll see what kind of a rebound the Barnstormers have from this first inning. 1-1. Mazzilli pops this up into shallow right field. Coming on is Golson. He has time. He'll be there for the first out. Mazzilli is retired. Lou Ford, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. In the second game of the doubleheader on Friday, Ford had the key hit, and it was his second triple in the last month. And you may be wondering what a nearly 43-year-old man is doing with a triple this weekend. Well, it was a sinking liner out to Caleb Gindel, and Caleb went to pull up on it, and his feet went out from under him. The ball bounced on by and rolled all the way to the wall. 1 out, 1 on. Anderson to Ford. It is in the dirt. Ball 1, no strikes. David Washington, the left-handed batting first baseman, waits on deck. Another tough start to a ball game for the Lancaster Barnstormers. You keep looking for the positives. You keep looking for the turnarounds, and maybe it will come at some point in this game. As long as you have outs left to work with, there's hope. Popped up behind the plate off of the mask is De La Rosa, but he'll have no play. Ball 1 and strike 1. The count to Ford. The ball apparently ticked off something above our heads and bounced back into the crowd below, hence the roar you hear. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ford with Rivera at first base, 1 out. Anderson looking to induce a double play ground ball out of Ford. A ball and a strike. Anderson to the plate, swing and a miss at an off-speed delivery, make it 1-2. The infield is completely fanned out against Ford. The outfield, with Gindel anchoring in center today, has Ford being played to pull, but Lute does hit to the opposite field quite often. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson looks at the runner. Here's the pitch, and this is popped up behind shortstop. Martinez goes back, but it will be Applin coming in, calling him off to make the catch. Ford's retired. That's 2 outs now. David Washington will jump into the batter's box. Washington continues to be a tough out for the Barnstormers this year. In fact, he wasn't retired at all last night. He singled once and walked twice, driving in the first run of the night against Kyle Davies. Davies gave up a 3-run home run to Hector Sanchez in the 3rd inning, but other than that, really didn't pitch a bad ball game. It wasn't a great one. And he lost 5-4. Swing and a foul tip by David Washington, who does not know the meaning of a soft swing. This guy, who leads the league in strikeouts by a ton and is second in the league in home runs, does not get cheated. He's a big fella. He's big and strong and has that bat in his hand, and he knows how to use it. And amazingly, against the Barnstormers, he has almost all singles, which he doesn't do very often. He is the quintessential 3-result hitter in the Atlantic League. He's the best example of it here. Maybe he and Telvin Nash, but I think Nash typically will hit for a higher average and strike out fewer times. 1 strike to Washington. Anderson comes back, and his breaking ball settles in low. It is a ball and a strike. 2 outs. Rivera, the runner at first base. 2 runs are home for Long Island in the bottom half of the first inning. There is 1 lone cloud visible out there over the scoreboard out in left center field. Looks like a thunderhead trying to form. 1-1, breaking ball, spins in for a second strike. It's 1-2. There's a small chance of a thunderstorm here and there early evening here on Long Island. They're not really expecting it, but they said something could pop up. The front comes through overnight and into tomorrow. 1-2. Anderson to Washington, and John just missed with it. That pitch was in a great spot. Washington, though, laid off. The count is 2-2. Anderson is about to throw his 24th pitch here in the first inning. That's something you didn't quite want to see in this broiler. 2-2 is fought off by Washington. He'll take it to another pitch. The heat index has cooled off to a tepid 108. Is it tepid or tepid? I think I've heard both over the years. I know the meaning. I'm not sure of the pronunciation. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Washington. Rivera not going the pitch. Washington fouls it at the dish, forcing Anderson to throw yet another. 2 runs across here in the first inning. It's a day. In the old days, they would have had the salt pills. Today, they've got all those beverages. But you've got to keep the fluids and the electrolytes in because they're going to be sweat out. 2-2. Here's the next one to Washington, high and tight, a full count. Rivera will be on the move. 3-2. Washington doffs the helmet for a moment, rubs some dirt up to get a better grip. David Washington going with the shaved head look as well. Hobson drops behind Rivera. He'll be off on the motion. There he goes. Here's the payoff pitch, and that is strike 3 called. Washington succumbs to a breaking ball. Anderson crossed him up, but before Anderson can get outs, 2-run score on 2 hits. No errors. There was 1 runner left on base at the end of an inning. It is Long Island 2 and Lancaster nothing.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Andrew Applin leads off. The Barnstormers have the second against Kevin McAvoy. Applin has boosted his average. He was 2 out of 4 last night. And now checking in on the year at 220 with a couple of home runs. First pitch is taken outside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. Ball 2 missing. It is 2-0. The windup and the delivery. That is taken upstairs for ball 3, 3-0. I just discovered something I hadn't seen before. Applin apparently was not credited with a sacrifice bunt in the first game on Friday. Takes ball 4 here, and the Barnstormers get the leadoff man on in the second inning. Bringing on the designated hitter, Destin Hood. Destin 3 for 29 now with a home run, 2 runs batted in. He's had trouble with contact. But I'll tell you what, when the ball jumps off his bat, it jumps off his bat with a lot on it. He's just got to get the timing down after the long layoff. Applin, the runner on with nobody out. Hood batting, Casey Hobson on deck. The delivery, a breaking ball, ruled a strike by Jorge Terran. It is 0-1. Defense set straight away against Hood, who has used the entire field. McAvoy comes back and twists that one in for a second strike. It's 0-2. Infield looking for 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's low, bouncing away from Cabrera. And Applin moves ahead to second on the wild pitch. Lancaster getting a runner into scoring position with nobody out. Destin Hood bats at 1 ball and 2 strikes. There was a 2 or 3 second delay at least before that second pitch was recorded as a strike. And I don't think the scoreboard operator saw it. I almost missed it as well. But it is 1-2 to Hood. 3 chances to get a run home here. The pitch to Destin is ball 2 inside. Now 2-2 on the Lancaster DH. The 3-1 count shown on the scoreboard would be a lot more promising. Now they have altered it. Duran sending the signal upstairs. Grounded foul by Hood off to the first base side. Still 2-2 to the Barnstormers' designated hitter. Destin 1 out of 7 in this series. He had one of the 5 Lancaster base hits in the 8th inning rally last night that produced 4 runs to bring Lancaster within 1. They couldn't get the tying base hit, though. 2-2 on Hood, breaking ball, and that's strike 3 on the inside corner. McAvoy using a lot of breaking pitches so far in this game. He has struck out 3. Casey Hobson, the first baseman, will come to the plate. Hobson steps in, batting .221 with 12 home runs and 46 batted in. And he'll take a crack at driving in Applin from second base. McAvoy allowed only 1 ball put into play so far. 2-0 Ducks. The pitch to Hobson fouled at the plate. And that rattled off of Cabrera. And he is a little slow to respond. At which point, Jorge Terran takes a new baseball out to Kevin McAvoy. So Ramon Cabrera has a moment to gather himself. Without catchers, the game of baseball would struggle to exist. I suppose with the technology, you could overcome to some degree having somebody back there, but that would completely overturn the way this game is played. But Man, what does it take to handle that position? Bouncing around off second is Applin. He tries to distract McAvoy, and the right-hander steps off the rubber. Way outside, Hobson bats at 1 ball and 1 strike. The motion, McAvoy comes back, and that is a second strike to Hobson. It's 1-2. The right fielder, Mazzilli, is playing incredibly short here with KC at the plate. Doesn't want to give up a run on a single. Here comes the 1-2. Hobson takes a wicked cut and misses. That is strikeout number 4 for Kevin McAvoy. 1 month ago today, the Barnstormers saw McAvoy also in the second game of a doubleheader. And the Barnstormers got to him for 4 hits and 4 runs in 2 innings. He walked 4. That was the night of that unforgettable Long Island rally, much as we might want to forget it. 11 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now Josh Bell steps in with 2 outs and Applin at second. 4 strikeouts of Barnstormers hitters for Kevin McAvoy. The pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0 to Bell. Catcher Anderson De La Rosa waiting on deck. Lancaster looking to get a decent swing in here. Gindle, the only man who's put the ball in play through 27 pitches. Inside and low to Bell. 2 balls and no strikes. Lancaster down a pair in the top half of the 2nd inning. Defense set straight away against Josh Bell. The set and to Bell 2-0. He swings and misses again at a wicked breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. Will the Barnstormers be able to pick up McAvoy the second time around? That's the question now. Last time out, McAvoy pitched 5 innings against Sugar Land and lost, but he gave up only 4 hits and 2 runs. Big swing and a miss again. Bell bats 2-2. Well, the Barnstormers are getting nowhere offensively. They've had Applin at second base for a good while now, but Hood has struck out, Hobson has struck out, and the count to Bell has reached 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kevin McAvoy ready to go. The pitch popped up foul. Bell forces him to throw another. Here's the wind, the delivery, breaking ball, strike 3 called on Bell. And after Applin walks and moves to second on the wild pitch, McAvoy roars back and strikes out the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Long Island is up 2-0.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with Pick Games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any Pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Cabrera, Apostolo, and Frias, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters scheduled for Long Island as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The Barnstormers trail by a score of 2-0 here. Cabrera to lead off, batting .223 with a pair of home runs, 9 runs batted in. We'll check in on the Major League scoreboard. We've got a number of finals posted already, and we'll get to those in just a moment as Cabrera leads off. Switch hitting catcher batting right-handed. Anderson's first pitch bounces away. Sprinting after it, De La Rosa. Ramon Cabrera says, I'm not going to run on that. The Ducks haven't taken off all weekend. The Barnstormers have won so-called Z in the weekend. Cardinals beat the Reds today. 3-1 was the final score. Astros have knocked off the Rangers 5-3. To Cabrera, a ball and no strikes. Bouncer back to the third base side of the hill. It gets through to Terdoslavich. He'll fire on, and the slow-running Cabrera is retired 5-3. Anderson dove, and somewhere mid-dive, he decided maybe I hadn't better make the stop. He let it get through to Terdoslavich, 1 out, and John Apostolo will come to the plate. He is 0 for 4 since joining the Long Island Ducks. Apostolo is from New York State. This is the highest level that he has ever played. He has been in the Pecos League 6 years ago and batted .338. First pitch is outside, a ball, 1-0. But now a Duck. He's 0 for 4. Anderson's pitch, good for a strike. It is 1-1. Elsewhere today, the Rockies beat the Yankees 8-4. The Orioles threw a one-hitter in shutting down the Red Sox 5-0. Detroit over Toronto 4-3 in 10 innings. Anderson is low for ball 2. It's 2 balls and a strike. Tampa Bay picked up only 3 hits, but behind Blake Snell beat the White Sox 4-2. Cleveland over Kansas City 5-4 a final. Francisco Lindor with a home run in that game. High fly ball, the left center field. Applin and Gindel could both be there, but it's Gindel taking it. 2 outs in the inning, and Vladimir Frias will step to the plate. And I have noticed more and more the marketing of the affable Francisco Lindor. He's becoming one of the faces of the game, along with, I suppose, Bryce Harper and Mike Trout right now. And it's terrific. He seems like an incredibly friendly guy. He's all about Cleveland, and I don't know if he'll ever leave there. He is really popular with the Indians fans. He loves the community, and what a great thing for the game. I'll get you the partial Major League scores here in a moment. They did a lot with Lindor during the Major League All-Star game, and he was a lot of fun. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0 to the switch-hitting Vladimir Frias, batting .210 with 3 home runs. He has driven in 12. Phillies just took the lead, 2-1 at Pittsburgh. They're in the bottom of the 11th now. 1 ball, no strikes. Grounded toward the middle, hustling over Bell. Backhanded stop. He'll spin, make the throw, and Frias is cut down 4-3. A nice play by JB. John Anderson has settled down to retire 6 in a row, but as we go to the third inning, the Ducks are up by a 2-0 score.
Don't strike out when in need of new appliances for your home. Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Lancaster County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Phillies have defeated the Pirates today, 2-1 in 11 innings. That just ended. Oakland is up 6-5 at Minnesota. Play has gone to the bottom of the 8th inning. The San Diego Padres have just finished off the Cubs 5-1. Mets and the Giants deadlocked at 2, bottom half of the 6th inning. Here's Anderson De La Rosa. Breaking ball, swings in at the knees for a called strike. It is 0-1. Kevin McAvoy is throwing just about all breaking balls and really taking advantage of a particular situation here today. The 0-1, De La Rosa takes a breaking ball and lines it out the left, but straight at Darby Myers. But when the Barnstormers have put the ball in play, they've hit the ball hard. Gindel and Anderson De La Rosa both with line drives right at people. The other 5 outs are on strikes. Greg Golson, the right fielder, checks in, batting .240 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. Dodgers are up 6-0 at home against Miami. The play is in the top of the 6th. Brewers and Diamondbacks, 4-4, bottom 4. Soft line drive, that'll fall into right center field, and the Barnstormers have their first hit of the day. Golson is on with the 1-out base hit. Michael Martinez back around for a second look at McAvoy, and maybe the second time through the order will prove to be more productive for the Barnstormers. Angels are up 7-0 over the Mariners in the bottom of the 5th inning. Not nice to the Mariners on the day they get to celebrate Edgar Martinez going into the Hall. What a wonderful man, too, Edgar Martinez. Popped up to second base. This will be an easy one for TJ Rivera. And the second out, leaving the inning to Caleb Gindel. The Barnstormers swinging early on McAvoy here in the 3rd inning. First 2 batters met the ball reasonably squarely. De La Rosa hit the ball harder than Golson. And Martinez with the weak pop up to second. Gindel will step in. Caleb lined out his first trip. Nats and the Braves coming up tonight. Yeah. Game on national cable. Starting at 7:08. So we can have a few minutes of talking heads and a couple of commercials. Down low for a ball, 1-0 to Gindel. Golson the runner at first with 2 outs here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Kevin McAvoy, the right-hander, comes set. The pitch is off the outside corner. And a 2-ball, no strike count. Infield plays Gindel to pull. The outfield maybe a step over toward the right. McAvoy works 2-0. That is inside and low for ball 3. 3-0 to Gindel. Joe Turdoslavich waits on deck. The Barnstormers will maybe a chance here in the 3rd inning. Down 2-0. John Anderson lost 2-0 his last start. Down to the High Point Rockers in the 2nd game of the doubleheader Tuesday. Chopper foul by Gindel, who had the green light. 3-1 to Caleb. And he has now started to suffer from a lack of support. You can't really find a starting pitcher that's been supported well. In many ways, the best has been Garrett Granitz when he's been on the hill. 3 balls and a strike to Gindel. The set and the offering. He will take ball 4 up high. First and second, Joe Terdoslavich will come to the plate. Terdoslavich, a strikeout victim, back in the first inning. The Barnstormers now have had 3 base runners. They need a hit here. Terdoslavich with a great series in the works. Two outs with 2 runners on. McAvoy to Terdoslavich. Nearly hits him in the back foot. Ball 1, no strikes. Andrew Applin, the left fielder, waiting on deck. They gave away the duck noisemakers today. You'll hear some of those in the background. The crowd kept down because of the heat here this late afternoon game. Breaking ball to Terdoslavich is taken for a strike. It is 1-1. Golson leads off second. Gindel off first. McAvoy comes set. The pitch. Terdoslavich drills it to dead center field. Carrera going back. He's turned around on it. It's over his head and caroming off the wall. This will bring in Golson. It will bring in Gindel. 2 are home on the Terdoslavich double, and the Barnstormers tie the game here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Joe Terdoslavich driving in 2 more in this series. He's reached the half-century mark on the season. It's his 3rd double of the series, a double pounded over Ezekiel Carrera's head to dead center field. Now Terdoslavich stands at second. The batter is Andrew Applin, who walked back in the 2nd inning. The Barnstormers have seen McAvoy 1 time through. And Terdoslavich, who struck out fairly easily in the 1st inning, has him gauged and delivers the 2-run double outside to Applin for a ball. Andrew walked his first trip. Big double for Joe Terdoslavich. That is his 3rd of the series, his 16th of the season. 1 ball and nothing. And to Applin. Breaking ball settles in for a called strike, 1-1. Lancaster has drawn even in this 3rd inning. It's really been a wonderful series for Terdoslavich, who often has had tougher times on the road this year. Applin pops it up, 3rd base side. Apostolo coming over. He's got room and makes the catch in front of the Barnstormers dugout to end the inning, but Lancaster ties it up. 2 runs in the frame on a pair of base hits. No errors, 1 runner left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. The Barnstormers and the Ducks are even at 2.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Howler Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Center fielder, number 22, Ezekiel.
Well, the heat index is down to 107, so they're opening the Cocoa stand on the first base side. Ezekiel Carrera will start off the bottom of the third inning. Carrera walked and scored back in the first against John Anderson. The Barnstormers have tied the game now on the double by Terdoslavich. The motion, and Anderson to the plate. He is below the knees once again to Carrera. It's 1-0. John got himself in trouble with two pitches below the knees to start off his afternoon. Walked Carrera, then Myers doubled, and Rivera singled, both right down the left field line. 1 ball, no strikes on Carrera. Driven foul to the left, out of play. It's 1-1. Anderson, since the first 3 batters of the day reached base, has retired 6 in a row. John Anderson into his windup. He deals, and it is upstairs for ball 2. 2-1. Carrera really being played to the opposite field by Applin and Gindel. Golson is well off the right field line. If he pulls a ball down the line, he can run all day. 2-1 pitch. And Anderson is off the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike. One of those recurring themes of this season has been when the Barnstormers score, how many times the leadoff batter in the next half inning has walked. It's 3-1 to Carrera. Let me correct that. 3-2 on a foul ball to the left. Carrera and Cabrera are both in the lineup today for the Long Island Ducks. And what is worse is there are spots where they're back-to-back on the stat sheet. Really testing my eyesight to distinguish between the two. Payoff pitch, high and inside. Carrera gets the walk again. Anderson gives up his second. Darby Myers will come to the plate. Myers snuck a double inside the bag at third, down the line to drive in the run back in the first inning. Leadoff man is on here in the bottom half of the third. And it has to go through Ross's mind. We've had this discussion about the leadoff walks after the ball club has just scored. And it's happened time and time again this year. Infield sets, double play depth against Myers. Terdoslavich guarding the line this go through. Anderson up and away. Ball 1, no strikes. And when you're having a losing season, I guess these things just tend to be amplified. It may not be occurring any more than normally you would based on the overall team stats, but it just seems to occur so often. Myers squares the bunt, and it's played by De La Rosa, and it's signaled a foul ball by Teran. Anderson De La Rosa jumped on it and fired to get the force play before he got the message that Teran was waving it off and saying foul ball. Nobody argues. Myers is back with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Carrera, the runner at first base with nobody out. A threat to go. He has stolen 7. Lancaster and Long Island knotted at 2 in the bottom half of the third inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anderson looks at first, comes to the plate. Myers shortens the bunt again and takes ball 2 upstairs. It is 2-1. 2 hits both ways. The Long Island hits coming along with a walk in the first inning. The Barnstormers hits coming along with a walk in the third. 2-1. The runner goes swing and a miss. De La Rosa's throw is taken out ahead of the bag by Josh Bell. They weren't going to get Cabrera anyway. That is the 8th stolen base for Ezekiel Carrera. Myers swung through the pitch to protect him. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes on the right-handed batting left fielder. Myers did a great job protecting Carrera by swinging through. That pitch was out of the zone, and De La Rosa would have been in great shape for the throw. Carrera got a great jump off the lefty Anderson, who used to have a good pickoff move. There is a bunt. De La Rosa picks it up, and they're going to have Carrera now in a rundown, but a bad throw is made by Terdoslavich, and runners arrive safely at first and third. Myers arrives safely at first on the fielder's choice. The bunt was barely fair out in front of De La Rosa. He picked it up, fired to third, but Carrera really hadn't advanced that far toward third base, so he wasn't forced off second. He turned to duck back in, and the Barnstormers mishandled the good old pickle hot box, or in the appropriate verbiage, rundown. And an error is charged to Terdoslavich, who made a wide throw to Josh Bell. Carrera arriving safely. Men are at first and third for TJ Rivera. Rivera singled off the third base bag to drive in a run back in the first inning. Throw to first base. A lob toss over there, and back in is Myers. When I say John Anderson used to have a good pickoff move to first base, I mean just that, because the rules, of course, at midseason here in the Atlantic League changed, and left-handers have completely been forced to alter what they do to hold runners on. Barnstormers set the infield double play depth. Carrera, the runner, at third. Myers is on at first base. Anderson to the plate. That's fouled back, rattling off the upper sections of the stadium. No balls and one strike to TJ Rivera. It should be just a runner at first base with one out. The Barnstormers had a play easily on Ezekiel Carrera. 0-1. And there's a smash down the third base line, but this time foul. Rivera bats at 0-2. Can John Anderson wiggle his way out of this one? The Ducks laid down a bad bunt and doubly got away with it. You lay down a better bunt, and it's a runner at third and one out. And it should be a runner at first and one out if the Barnstormers had made the play. 0-2 pitch, bounce to the shortstop. Martinez is going to come home, and again, they've got Carrera in a rundown. This time, he'll be tagged out by De La Rosa. The out will go 6-2. Rivera safe on the fielder's choice. Runners are at first and second with one out for LJ Mazzilli. Ball game still tied at 2. Once again, Carrera seemed a bit hesitant whether to go or not. He was only about a third to halfway home when Martinez cut the throw loose. He tried to duck back in, but Terdoslavich had third base covered pretty well. He tried to duck back around De La Rosa. Anderson would have no part of it. De La Rosa decoyed him pretty well with a fake throw. Myers at second, Rivera at first with one out in the inning. Mazzilli steps in. He flied to shallow right first time up. The pitch is low, blocked by De La Rosa. Ball one and no strikes. Playing a 2-2 game in the bottom half of the third inning with just one out. A 7-inning contest because of this extreme heat wave here in the Northeast that's expected to break. We're supposed to be very comfortable for the next several days. 1-0. Runners bluff, don't go. Line drive pulled foul by Mazzilli. 1 ball, 1 strike. By leaving Carrera alive the first time, though, the Barnstormers are not out of this inning. If they had tagged him out and Rivera hit the same ground ball to Michael Martinez, John Anderson would be out of the inning. That would have been a double play, I believe. Here's a 1-1 pitch, smashed to short. This could be 2, and it's bobbled by Martinez. He'll go to Bell, 1, back to first, and Lancaster loses the double play. Very close at first, but Mazzilli becomes the 3rd straight Duck to arrive at first on a fielder's choice. You won't see that too often. Rivera's out 6-4, and how many times over should John Anderson be out of this inning? Instead, runners are at the corners with 2 outs. And the batter will be Ford, who flied to left back in the first inning. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 3rd. The Barnstormers had a mishap and 1 run down, handled the second one well, and now they have missed out on a chance to turn a double play because of a brief fumble by Michael Martinez. Mazzilli just beat the relay throw from Bell to first base. Now 2 outs. The batter is Ford, taking high and outside. Ball 1 and no strikes. And it's amazing how these mistakes continue to just multiply. They're not major blunders on the part of the Barnstormers. They're little things here and there, but they keep getting amplified and things go wrong. Strike to Ford, and the count to Lou is even at 1-1. David Washington due next. Washington is John Anderson's lone strikeout victim so far of the afternoon or evening, depending on which you prefer to call this. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ford. Anderson ready to go. Breaking ball, chopped toward the middle. It's going to be a tough play. Martinez racing in. He'll throw on the run and cut him down. Michael Martinez getting John Anderson out of the inning. That was a beauty of a play. It could have been a base hit even with the 42-year-old Lou Ford running. A topper over the mound. Martinez equal to the task, and the inning is cut off. No runs, no hits, 1 error. And there were 2 runners left on base by the Long Island Ducks. We'll go to the 4th inning, tied at 2.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
2 runs, 2 hits, an error. 2 left for the Barnstormers. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 left for the Long Island Ducks. Here's Destin Hood starting the 4th inning. And the breaking ball from Kevin McAvoy just misses for a ball. It is 1-0. Hood struck out looking at a very similar pitch to that one back in the 2nd. McAvoy to the plate and angles this one off the outside corner. It is 2-0. Casey Hobson and Josh Bell will follow. This trio all struck out back in the 2nd inning, but we'll see what a second look might produce. Hood swings and belts a ball to left center field. This one is back a ways. It hits the top of the fence and kicks back in. Hood will stop at second with a leadoff double. He wants to know if the ball left, and now the first base umpire, Warren Nicholson, signals that it came off an upper level of sign. Hood awarded the home run, and the Barnstormers are up 3-2.
First baseman, Number 18.
Destin Hood with his second Atlantic League home run puts the Barnstormers on top here in the fourth inning. Casey Hobson will step to the plate. The ball hit just to the left of the batter's eye and just snuck out of Bethpage Ballpark. But a home run for Hood. Casey Hobson stands in. Hobson now swings and torches one to deep right. Mazzilli going back. He's got a play, though, and in front of the warning track makes the catch for out number one. The Barnstormers starting to jump a bit on Kevin McAvoy. One out this inning. Hobson hit that into a crosswind, unfortunately, and didn't quite get enough of it. Bell struck out looking back in the second inning. The Barnstormers, this is what Destin Hood is here to do. He's here to hit home runs. The Barnstormers have needed right-handed sock all year, and hopefully we'll start to see a lot more of that out of Destin as he gets more and more comfortable. Ball one and no strikes to Josh Bell. Anderson De La Rosa waits on deck. Pitch is down low, 2 balls and no strikes. And you hope that Destin Hood has a great second half as a Barnstormer and maybe even makes it back to us next year, as it may be a little bit too late for him to be seen and have his contract purchased, because he is a wonderful guy. I hope you enjoyed our chat with him on the Dugout Report yesterday. He is very enjoyable to have around. 2-1, the count here on Bell, but obviously you're in this to win ball games as well. So there is that. To Bell, 2-1, called second strike on the outside corner, 2-2. We want to have both. We want to have 2014 and 2006 and some of the other playoff runs where you really can have both, because our clubs, by and large, over the years have been wonderful to deal with. But you want to enjoy the spoils of winning as well. Bell in there at 2-2. The pitch breaks to the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Josh Bell goes down looking for the second time in the game. McAvoy has struck out 6. And the batter will be Anderson De La Rosa, who lined right at the left fielder Darby Myers his first time up. Destin Hood has broken the tie with a home run here in the fourth inning. As I said earlier, Hood does strike out a lot. He always has. But he's got that kind of swing where the ball is very lively when it comes off his bat. And he's going to hit some out. And he's going to hit some out at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Breaking ball for a strike to De La Rosa. It's 0-1. 3-2 Lancaster here in the top of the fourth inning. The other good news about today is the Barnstormers really have pretty much the full stable of back-end relievers for this one. Second strike in on De La Rosa. It is 0-2. McAvoy has been very tough when he's been ahead in the count. Anderson checks. Ball one is outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes here. 3-2 Lancaster here in the top of the fourth inning. The 1-2 offering off the outside corner. De La Rosa batting at 2-2. Trying to restart the offense with 2 outs in the fourth inning following the leadoff home run by Destin Hood. De La Rosa backs out. Barnstormers, in the long run, did a wonderful job getting out of the bottom of the third inning. Anderson especially did a great job getting out of that inning after the leadoff walk and the stolen base. 2-2 offering, line drive left field, and that's down for a base hit. Couple of bounces out to Darby Myers. A lot of topspin on it. It died on its way to Myers. 2-out base runner is De La Rosa. Greg Golson stepping in. Greg singled and scored in the third inning. 2 outs and a runner on here in the Top of the fourth. The only game still in progress in the Atlantic League. Everything else an earlier afternoon start. Sugar Land, Somerset, and Long Island go to the later starts in the summertime months. Breaking ball is a strike on Golson. It's 0-1. And in New York State, the kids don't get out of school until nearly the end of June, and they don't go back till after Labor Day. So what is the summer months a bit delayed here on Long Island. Outside and low, ball and a strike, but they play the 5:05 games here on Sundays, July and August. Personally, I love this start time, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't mind 2. I like 2 o'clock. 1 ball and 1 strike to Golson. The pitch is low. It gets through Cabrera, and De La Rosa will charge ahead to second. Mark that down as a wild pitch. It looked in the dirt. Runner at second base now is De La Rosa, and a Golson base hit could pick him up and advance the lead to 2. Barnstormers with 4 hits on the afternoon. The big blow, the 2-run double by Joe Turdoslavich last inning, that tied the game. Destin Hood puts the Barnstormers into the lead. 2 balls and 1 strike to Golson. Line drive and a base hit into right field. Charging the play is Mazzilli. De La Rosa's being set, and he's going to score without a throw. The Barnstormers lead by 2. Golson 2 for 2 against Kevin McAvoy. And the Barnstormers have broken ahead here in the top of the 4th inning. It brings on Michael Martinez. He is hitless in 2 tries.
Michael Martinez.
The bats have come to life. De La Rosa kept it alive with a single to left. Goes to second on a wild pitch and scores as Greg Golson slices a base hit to right center. Ross People showed no hesitation, waving De La Rosa around. Mazzilli just threw into second. First pitch in for a strike on Martinez. Michael bats at 0-1. We'll see if Golson takes off at some point. Greg 2 for 4, stealing bases. Being held by Washington at first. No balls and a strike. Martinez has to get the back foot out of the way. And it's 1-1. Five hits to 2. Barnstormers on top in that category as well. Here's the 1-1 to Michael Martinez. Hard hit ground ball right at the second baseman by Rivera. He stays with a tricky hop and throws on for the out. Lancaster breaks on top, though, in the 4th inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. And Golson left at first base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. The Barnstormers lead 4-2.
Please stop by the kiosk on Upper Concord.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru Outdoor Experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru Outdoor Experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
John Anderson working with the lead as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. David Washington will lead off. Washington, a strikeout victim, back in the first. Anderson largely is, especially the last two innings, has been living on ground balls. He nicely got out of the third. Michael Martinez helped out on two plays and cost him on one. Mixed reviews there. Washington leads off the bottom of the fourth, and the first pitch just outside and low. Ball one, no strikes. Well, here's where Anderson needs to come out and pitch a clean inning and hold the lead at 2. To Washington, 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, catches the outside corner on the way through. The count is level at 1-1. As far as Anderson is concerned, he's allowed only a walk on the last 11 batters. He's retired the other 10 for the most part. Washington lofts this to center. Caleb Gindel marching in and toward dead center field. He's there to make the catch. Washington retired. That's one out in the fourth inning. And Ramon Cabrera will come to the plate. The catcher grounded out to the third baseman, Terdoslavich, leading off the second inning. A ball that rolled past the diving effort of John Anderson, and most probably would have beaten it out, but not Cabrera. Anderson to the plate and fires a strike on a fastball. It's 0-1. Anderson De La Rosa is not a fast guy, but I guarantee he can outrun Cabrera and Sanchez. I assure you of that fact. Fastball is outside, 1-1. As far as Barnstormers catchers over the years, De La Rosa is probably midway in the speed department. Ball 2 missing outside of Cabrera, 2-1. We'll put James Skelton at the top of the list and Mike McDade at the bottom. And De La Rosa is somewhere in the middle. 2 balls and a strike. Anderson delivers. This is popped up behind shortstop. Martinez goes back. He signals for it, and Michael there to make the catch in short left center. Cabrera's retired. Anderson working with a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. John Epistola will come to the plate. He flied to center back in the second inning. It looked like this had the makings of a dismal ball game for John Anderson, but how often have we seen that where a guy gets off to a quick bad start and turns his game around and he's exceptional the rest of the way? And in other cases, breaking ball inside and low, Epistola not running to first base, and I think De La Rosa probably would have gotten him. 1-0. And the flip side, how often have we seen a guy come out and throw a 1-2-3 first inning, look really good for an inning or two, and then get banged around? Seen maybe more of that this year than ever before. Ball 1, no strikes. Anderson delivers, and it is low to Apostolo. 2-0. Vladimir Frias waits on deck. Lancaster 4, Long Island 2, playing the bottom half of the fourth inning on a very, very hot day at Bethpage Ballpark. And, of course, it's always a little bit warmer on the field than anywhere else. Not quite. There's a line drive out the center. Gindel coming on. He'll make the catch. Apostola retired. I was going to say not quite to the extent that it is on the artificial turf down at High Point, but still a very, very hot day here on Long Island. Nothing across in the home half of the fourth inning. We'll go to the fifth of what has been shortened to a 7-inning game with the Barnstormers leading 4-2.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Caleb Gindel leads off the Lancaster half of the 5th inning with the Barnstormers ahead 4-2 here at Bethpage Ballpark. Gindel is lined out and walked so far against Kevin McAvoy. He has a run scored. Terdoslavich and Applin will follow in the top half of the 5th inning. The windup by the right-hander. The pitch stays far outside to Caleb. Ball 1, no strikes. 5 hits for the Barnstormers, including a couple of extra base hits this afternoon. Bats have come to life. To Gindel, a strike at the top of the zone. It is 1-1. We were hoping for a quick escape from Long Island today. I'm not sure that we're getting that. Gindel waves at a breaking ball. McAvoy has him at 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Terdoslavich, who was hit safely now in 5 consecutive games. He's really starting to catch fire. Gindel pulls this down the right field line. He went down for it, got it, and rolls it all the way into the corner. Playing it off the boards is Mazzilli, and Gindel will settle into second with a leadoff double. 18th 2-base hit of the year for Caleb. And now Terdoslavich, 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in off his double in the 3rd inning, steps to the plate. Terdoslavich in the streak is 9 out of 15. 1 short of his longest hitting streak of the season, which came back in May. Gindel stands at second base with nobody out in the 5th inning as the Barnstormers look to pad what is a current 4-2 lead. The pitch, and Terdoslavich turns on it. He lines it to right. That's in for a base hit. Mazzilli coming up with the play, and the Barnstormers will hold Gindel at 3rd. Mazzilli was on it quickly. The Barnstormers and Ross Peoples decided not to send Caleb Gindel. Andrew Applin to the plate. He has walked and fouled to 3rd. The Barnstormers with the opportunity to break this one open in the 5th inning. Applin looking at least to get Gindel across. Andrew has walked and fouled to 3rd. Ball just staying in play for Apostolo back in the 3rd inning. Gindel off 3rd, Terdoslavich off 1st. Applin also tries to pull a ball to right, but he swings and misses. Trailing in the count now, 0-1. Destin Hood, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Lancaster leading by 2 and trying to stretch it here in the 5th inning. McAvoy ready to go. Applin pulls a ground ball through the right side. That is a base hit. Gindel will score easily. Terdoslavich settling in at second base. The Barnstormers are up 5-2 on the RBI base hit for Andrew Applin. And now Destin Hood steps in with 2 runners on, nobody out. Hood slammed a home run to left center field back in the 4th inning. His 2nd here in the Atlantic League. We have not really seen Destin hit a ball to left center field yet in Lancaster. Both his home runs have come on the road. They've both been in that direction. Now he drives a ball down the right field line, but that will be foul and rattling off the wall on the side. 0-1, the count to Destin Hood, who seems to be getting tuned up at the plate. 2 on, nobody out in the 5th inning. But the 409 mark in left center at Clipper Magazine Stadium, now with the extra high wall out there, that's going to be a challenge for Destin to get one out in that direction. The ball he hit today likely would have been a double in Lancaster. One strike to Hood, and the pitch almost hits him. Somehow, the jersey tucked in enough that it stayed out of the way. If that jersey's a little bit looser and flapping around in the breeze, it might have caught part of the baseball. Hood bats at 1-1. Deep in the box, right-handed hitter awaiting the pitch. It's low, ball 2, and getting away from Cabrera. On to third goes Terdoslavich, and to second goes Applin. Cabrera has had fits with McAvoy today. It's the third that's gotten away. Destin Hood ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. There are Barnstormers at second and third. Nobody out here in the 5th inning. And you wonder if Wally Backman has somebody getting tuned up in the Lancaster bullpen. Hood batting with Hobson on deck. The Ducks will bring the infielders in here. A base hit could open a 5-run lead. Here's the 2-1 to Hood. He lets it go. Ball 3 is outside and a 3-1 count. Destin Hood can find something he really, really likes here. He can be a picky shopper at this stage. 3-1 from McAvoy. The pitch is slammed past the shortstop Frias into left center field. Here comes Terdoslavich. Applin is on his heels. Hood with a 2-run single, and the Barnstormers lead 7-2. Frias probably has a play if he's back on that because the ball was hit in his general neighborhood, but it was hit so hard that he didn't have any time at all to react from the drawn-up position. Hood singles in 2. It's a big day for Destin. It's a big day for the Barnstormers. It's not a big day for Kevin McAvoy. He is being rescued by Wally Backman as the Barnstormers now own a 7-2 lead here in the top of the 5th. Still nobody out. We'll tell you who's coming in for the Long Island Ducks in a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company, supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions, trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Mario Checo takes over with Destin Hood at first base. Nobody out. In the top of the 5th inning, the Barnstormers enjoying a 7-2 lead. AC Hobson will come to the plate. Then you've got Josh Bell and barring it out on the bases, Anderson De La Rosa. Lancaster totaled 9 hits and 7 runs so far in 4+ innings against Kevin McAvoy. The ball club 6 out of its last 7. The 9 hits have all come in the last 2+ innings. McAvoy chewed up the Barnstormers in the first 2 frames. He struck out 5 of the 7 batters he faced. He couldn't continue it. Now a ball is inside to Hobson, 1-0. We've seen that happen so many times. Pitchers get off the starts like that, but they've used up their repertoire at that point, and the hitters make the adjustments. The Barnstormers have had a great day at the plate. Hood takes off. The pitch is low. The Cabrera throw bounces in, and Freya slaps the tag on belatedly. Destin Hood with the stolen base. The Barnstormers move another runner in the scoring position. The count to Casey Hobson is 1 strike here in the top half of the fifth inning. This really is one of the finer games the Barnstormers have had at the plate in a while. Hobson arches the back as he awaits the 1-1. Checo comes to the set. Hood leads off second. The pitch to KC. Swing and a miss and a high inside fastball. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. The right-hander Checo delivers. Hobson lifts a fly ball to short left. Darby Myers will camp underneath here and make the catch. Hobson unable to advance Hood. He's at second base with 1 out. The batter will be Josh Bell. Mariel Checo, New York City native. He is 29 years of age, 6'3", 190 pounds, and a guy that we've gotten to know a little bit around the Atlantic League. He was a road warrior a year ago. He's been with York in the past. 1-1, 3.56 in 17 appearances so far this year. To Bell, inside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. De La Rosa on deck. The Barnstormers leading by 5. We'll see if the Barnstormers can get to a second pitcher. And that's something that we haven't seen them do all that much this year. Pulled down the first base line, just fouled by Bell. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Last night, all 4 runs off of Cody Mincy in the 8th inning. The 5 runs scored by the Barnstormers Friday night, all off the starter, Pedro Beato. The bullpen, including Checo, through 3 1/3 scoreless innings of relief. 7 runs off McAvoy. Wood is his runner at second base with 1 out. Josh Bell bats at 1-1, way outside, speared by Cabrera. Ball 2 and a strike. Seven-inning ball game. The Barnstormers leading 7-2 here in the 5th inning. John Anderson's been on a roll. To Bell, up and in for ball 3 and a strike. Anderson has given up 1 walk, and that is it to the last 14 batters that he's faced. Another reach on a crazy fielder's choice. 3-1. Bell looks at a second strike, and the count goes full 3-2. JB's only 4 for 38 against the Ducks. Payoff pitch is due. Hood leads off second base. Checo comes set. Here's the pitch. Bell swings and he misses. He has gone on strikes. De La Rosa now left in charge of getting that extra run home, which the Barnstormers had in scoring position with nobody out. De La Rosa has lined to left and singled to left. He seemed to have a pretty good feel for Kevin McAvoy. And that shift over to Mariel Checo. Produce another run here. De La Rosa, 8 for 24 against Long Island. He's had a good year against the Ducks. Hood off second base. The pitch to De La Rosa. Fastball down and away. Ball 1, no strikes. Greg Golson, 2 for 2 already today. Waits on deck. Lancaster has scored in 3 straight innings, multiple runs in 3 straight innings. De La Rosa with a swing and a foul off to the right. The count will even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ross Peoples still coaching third. Melvin Mercedes has been at first base, I believe, throughout the day. Can't wait to see Melvin back in the lineup. He just brings so much excitement to the field. And he's within days of his return. De La Rosa batting 1-1. The pitch is hit high in the air to shallow left. Shielding his eyes from the bright sun is Frias. He's there to squeeze it. Checo gets the Ducks out of the rest of the inning. But before that, 3-run score, 4 hits, no errors. Hood's left at second. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th with the Barnstormers ahead 7-2.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
The Barnstormers turn this game over to Pedro Echemendia. He will take over in the bottom of the 5th inning. John Anderson was pitching a great ball game, but Ross Peoples is going to be cautious with him. I had him for 63 pitches. It'll be somewhere in that neighborhood. 2 hits, 2 runs in 4 innings. He walked 2, struck out 1, but this heat can be overbearing, and it is very possible that Anderson went to Ross and said he could handle no more. And you knew, as we talked about on the dugout report today, we discussed it with Ross, that he and Anya Holmberg were going to keep a very close eye on everybody, but especially Anderson, because pitchers, as you know, expend more energy on a baseball field than anyone else does. Here's Vladimir Frias leading off the 5th inning against Echemendia. Pedro has been a great addition to the Barnstormers bullpen. 6'2" right-hander from Ciego de Avila in Cuba originally. Lives in Fort Lauderdale. First pitch strike. It is 0-1. 1-0 with a 0.84 ERA. He's given up 4 hits and a run in 10 2/3 innings. He has walked 5 and he has struck out 10. No balls, 1 strike to Frias. He grounded out against Anderson 4-3 back in the 2nd. Line drive caught by Bell here. Josh Bell quickly darting to his left to make the play. Frias is gone, 1 out, bottom of the 5th, and Ezekiel Carrera will come to the plate. He walked twice against Anderson. The only walks John gave up for his effort. It's unfortunate that Anderson will not be eligible to win his 6th of the year today. But again, you have to be very cautious in these weather conditions. 1 out, nobody on base. The pitch from Echemendia registered as a strike. It is 0-1. I've tried to make light of the situation, but realistically, the heat is very dangerous today. And while I don't necessarily agree with all the alterations that sometimes can be made here, I think it was a very wise move on the part of League President Rick White to give clubs the option to shorten today's games to 7 innings. The one game that wasn't Sugarland and Southern Maryland, that I could see the Skeeters' reaction. We play in this every day. What are you talking about? Ball 2 is low, 2-1. So they got to play a full 9, and Sugar Land won it 6-0, perhaps because they're acclimated to this. This really is every day in Sugar Land, Texas. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the 5th inning. Echemendia checks his cleats, now focusing in on the target set by Anderson De La Rosa. 2-1, Echemendia into the wind. Here's the pitch. It's off speed and bounce foul up the first baseline. And Juice Gums points over there in the first base coach's box. Earlier, it was Joe Iorio over there. I believe it's Ray Fuentes. It is. He just got Juice Gums points. Made a nice play on that bounder. 2-2 to Carrera. 1 out, nobody aboard. Bottom half of the 5th inning. The wind and the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Echemendia has gone to a full count on the left-handed batting Ezekiel Carrera. It was drawing the bases on balls. He scored a run back in the 1st inning. He has a stolen base. He's done a wonderful job as a leadoff batter today. 3-2 to him. Echemendia ready to go. Here is the payoff pitch, and it's fouled away, spoiled by Carrera. And on we go at 3 balls and 2 strikes. In a 9-inning game, we would be well past a 3-hour pace. Shortened to 7 innings here today. Somebody said we'll end up going 14. 3-2 pitch. Carrera tags this to left center field. This has some legs on it. Back goes Gindel approaching the track, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Long Island without a base hit since the 1st inning. Darby Myers doubled in that frame to drive in a run. He scored the 2nd run there. He bunted into a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. Barnstormers tried to make a play on the lead runner Carrera, and they had him. He was in a rundown, and the only real misplay for the Barnstormers in the game came in that rundown. Trdoslavich was charged with an error. Other than that, a sound game all the way around for the Barnstormers. Here is the pitch, and this is rocked to right center field by Myers. Nobody's getting to that on the fly. It's going to bounce out to the wall. Gindel will fire it in, and Myers puts on the brakes around second. He'll settle for a double, and TJ Rivera will come to the plate. Myers with his 2nd double of the ball game, his 7th of the year. He had a full head of steam going around second base. The manual brakes were on, the spoilers were on, the reverse thrusters were on, and he slowed down in a hurry. That ball was played very well by Gindel off the wall in right center. Runner at second base with 2 outs. Echemendia will go to work on TJ Rivera. He singled in a run back in the 1st inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Lancaster leading 7-2, 2 outs, runner in scoring position, bottom of the 5th inning. Echemendia will step off momentarily. Do not trust the Ducks. Remember, this is the team that scored 11 runs after 2 are out and nobody on, with the Barnstormers leading 8-1 back here in June. That was in the bottom of the 6th of a 7-inning game. Two outs. Runner takes off for third, and the ball is slammed to left. Way back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. The Ducks are back in the game. A 2-run home run by TJ Rivera, and it's 7-4. All 4 balls against Echemendia this half inning have been hit very hard. And LJ Mazzilli will come to the plate. Mazzilli is 0 for 2.
Right fielder, number 2, LJ Mazzilli.
Putting a clamp on a ball game seems extraordinarily difficult this year. Mazzilli to the plate. Right now, you just want to get the final out here in the 5th inning and get the Barnstormers back to the dish. Boy, Echemendia has been hit hard. We haven't seen anything like this in any of his prior outings. His breaking ball is good for a strike on Mazzilli. It is 0-1. And I think maybe he's been concentrating a little too much on throwing strikes with the big lead, and that's commendable. But all 4 balls have been hit very well. 0-1 on Mazzilli. That is bounded foul, and Echemendia's got him at no balls and 2 strikes. Heat index has dropped to 104. And there are storms that will not get here during this game, or at least I wouldn't hope so. But there are some storms coming through the New York State, Pennsylvania, New Jersey junction. We could hit those on the way home. Small cells scattered in that area. LJ Mazzilli bats at 1-2. 2 outs, 2 home. And the pitch, breaking ball that misses. And now it is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lou Ford waits on deck. We should get some rain in the Northeast tonight and tomorrow and into Tuesday morning. It'll cool things off. 2-2, foul back. Mazzilli will not go away. Echemendia still fighting here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now you want the Barnstormers to be able to come back out and score again and reestablish momentum in the ball game. Once Echemendia gets out of this inning, here's the 2-2 on Mazzilli. Low and through the legs of Anderson De La Rosa. Mazzilli batting at 3-2. Ford is due next. Echemendia pacing around some behind the mound. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A lot of room in right center field. Mazzilli is being played to pull. Target set by De La Rosa. Mazzilli batting 3-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside, ball 4, and Ford will come to the plate. I'm sure Ross couldn't even envision having to go back to his bullpen again here in the 5th inning, but now he certainly has to be thinking about it. Ford will come to the plate. He has flied to left and grounded to short. Echemendia had gotten 2 loud outs, but now has given up a double, a walk, and a home run. Tying run moves into the on-deck circle, and that tying run is David Washington. A 7-4 ball game. Echemendia will go to work on Ford. Runner leads off first. The pitch is taken low for a ball. It is 1-0. The Barnstormers jumped ahead 7-2, had a runner at second base with nobody out in the top of the 5th inning, never moved him, and now the game is swung back to the Ducks. Bouncing ball second base. This will get Echemendia out of the inning as Bell finds Hobson. 4-3. 2 runs, though, are home. 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the 6th inning today, and the Barnstormers still leading, but now it is 7-4.
Please support our customer service center at Upper
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Number 16, Greg Golson.
Mario Checo stays out for the top of the 6th inning. Greg Golson steps in. Michael Martinez and Caleb Gindel will follow. It's not essential that the Barnstormers score additional runs here, but you wouldn't mind seeing it. Following the 2-run home run by T.J. Rivera, Barnstormers could mop the brow after Lou Ford's ground out to end the inning. Way inside to Golson, who's 2 for 2 with a run scored and a run batted in. Ball 1, too close, 1-0. The count to Greg. Playing right field here today. Different look to the outfield with Applin, Gindel, and Golson out there. Line to center, make it 3 for 3 for Greg Golson. Center field twice and right field once for Golson on the afternoon. Nice day for him. Michael Martinez will come to the plate. Martinez is 0 for 3. He has struck out, popped out, and grounded out today. 10 hits owned by the Barnstormers through 5+ innings. Nice to see this performance out of Golson. He leads off first base, and Martinez takes a ball outside and low from Checo, 1-0. Golson, Destin Hood, Joe Turdoslavich, all having big games for the Barnstormers here today. To Martinez, a high fly ball out the center. Ezekiel Carrera setting up. The ball is all his. Martinez is retired for the first out. Gindel will step in. Caleb has scored twice today. He has walked and he's pulled 2 liners down the right field side. One was caught by the first baseman, Washington. The other into the right field corner for a double. Turdoslavich into the on-deck circle. Golson, the runner at first base. We haven't seen him take off at all. Hood has the only Barnstormer steal of the afternoon. 7-4 Lancaster. And a delay as it appears that Ramon Cabrera has had some sort of equipment failure. Like he's working on his right shin guard. I think one of the straps came undone. Finally, a chance for Gindel to step into the box. Turdoslavich into the on-deck circle. What a series Joe's had. Here's the set, and now to Gindel. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Big hole for Gindel to try and aim. He takes ball 2 now off the outside corner. Checo seems dismayed about those first 2 calls. From this vantage point, they both had to be fairly close. Washington holding Golson on. Here comes the 2-0. Gindel checks. That one is a strike at the knees, 2-1. Lancaster 7, Long Island 4. 6th inning of a 7-inning game. The 2-1 is on the way. Gindel lets it go. That's strike 2 to the outside edge. Mario Checo has thrown a scoreless inning and a third in relief of Kevin McAvoy, who did strike out 6 but gave up 9 hits and 7 runs in 4+ innings. Wild pitches didn't help. 2-2 is ball 3. Caleb with a full count. I have to think Golson runs here. Caleb Gindel with a full count, 1 out, runner at first base here in the 6th inning. Checo working from the third base side of the rubber. Golson takes off. He takes off way too soon. Throw to first base, and somehow Greg gets back in. By the time that Checo was alerted to it, Golson was able to scramble and dive back into first. Last night, Caleb Gindel was picked off in the 6th inning. You talked to Caleb afterward. He said that Iorio balked. And he was showing the video. It was subtle. 3-2 pitch. Gindel looks at strike 3 on the inside corner. Golson did not break. Gindel thought he had the walk. And Joe Turdoslavich will come to the plate, 2 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Gindel bolted for first. The call was delayed. He was 3 or 4 steps down when he got rung up by Tehran. And fortunately, Golson was not running, but now he's at first with 2 outs. Turdoslavich swings and lifts a pop-up to left. Darby Myers will come on for it and put it away. A great start to the inning, but it dies. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, 7-4 Lancaster.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Bethpage Ballpark. It is 7-4 in favor of the Barnstormers. David Washington, Ramon Cabrera, and John Apostolo will be stepping in to face Scott Schumann. Pedro Echemendia with an off day. He gave up 2 hits and 2 runs in the 5th inning. Walked 1, struck out nobody. Schumann will take over. Scott is 0-1. That was his start. His ERA 5.27, feeling the ill effects of that one start. His ERA out of the bullpen is 2.45. Washington will lead off here. He is struck out looking and fly to center. Lancaster trying to hold on to a 3-run lead. Applin, Hood, and Hobson scheduled in the top of the 7th. Defense fanned out against Washington. Facing a right-hander for the first time in the game. Schumann ready to go. His first pitch. Draws a partial swing, but he didn't go far enough. The pitch low. Ball 1 and no strikes. Gotten a bit darker here at Bethpage Ballpark. I get the impression perhaps some clouds are starting to move in from the west. We mentioned there are storms out there, but not terribly close to here at the moment. Swinging a foul ball back by Washington. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike here in the bottom half of the 6th inning to the leadoff batter. Storms begin to cross through almost into Connecticut. It is 1-1. Schumann to Washington, down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. And it looks like some additional storms maybe headed Lancaster's direction. And I'm sure the folks back at home wouldn't mind that right now. To cool things off, although it may just be temporarily. 2 balls, 1 strike to Washington. Schumann ready to go to work. The motion and the pitch is grounded on the right side. Scooped up. Hobson will underhand to Schumann covering. 3-1, 1 out here in the 6th inning. Ramon Cabrera, the catcher, to the plate. Cabrera is 0 for 2. Looks like those showers that are out there are more likely to hit Bridgeport on the other side of Long Island Sound than coming out here on the island. It seems like they're going due west to east, north of New York City. Cabrera digging in here. Schumann over the top, fires low, and it's ball 1, no strikes. John Apostolo waiting on deck. Scoreboard here never recorded Lancaster's 10th hit, but they've got 10. 4 for the Long Island Ducks, but they've been productive with those 4. The 1-0 to Cabrera. Bouncing ball again on the right side. That's fair, and Hobson will take this one himself. Cabrera never left the box. It had a lot of crazy spin on it. Hobson made the play behind the bag in foul territory, but I certainly believe that was inside the bag, and Warren Nicholson made the right call. Cabrera thought he had hit a foul ball, and 2 are out in the inning for John Apostolo, who twice has flied out to center. For a guy who hasn't played professional baseball since 2013, not a bad afternoon. He hit the ball well both times against Anderson. 2 outs, nobody on. Schumann goes to work. The offering is a strike at the knees, 0-1. Schumann looking to make fairly quick work of the Ducks here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The next offering, breaking ball, swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Apostolo trying to lock into a 94, 95 mile an hour fastball from Scott Schumann and got the breaking ball instead, and it wasn't a good look. Schumann's ahead 0-2. Where will he and his battery mate Anderson De La Rosa go? The 2-strike pitch is a fastball down and away. Ball 1, 2 strikes. 2 outs on ground balls. Schumann says he still really doesn't feel in midseason form, and he's not getting mid-Scott Schumann season results, not striking out a ton of batters, but he is by and large getting outs, and that's really what you need. Not as electric as he's been the last 2 years, at least not at this point. 1-2. That is strike 3 at the knees. Fastball gets Apostolo. Schumann strikes out the 3rd batter of the inning, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Scott, who now may very well be in line for the win here this afternoon. We'll go to the 7th inning. Lancaster 7 and Long Island 4.
strike out when in need of new appliances for your home? Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Lancaster County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer, making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Number 46, Clint Freeman.
The heat index is holding at 104. Grandma can hold off on knitting the Afghan. We go to the seventh inning, 7-4. Lancaster over Long Island, 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on by the Barnstormers. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 4 left on by the Long Island Ducks. Andrew Applin leads off against left-hander Clint Freeman here in the 7th inning. Applin 1 for 2, a run scored and a run batted in. And he will look at a strike on the first offering from Freeman, who's the only left-hander in the Long Island bullpen. Alex Katz is on the injured list. No balls, 1 strike to Applin. Hood and Hobson will follow here in the top of the 7th. Lancaster leads by 3. In the dirt and bouncing away. Applin will bat at a ball and a strike. Freeman is in his 6th ball game. He's allowed 10 hits, 7 runs all earned in 5 2/3 innings with 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. And Applin took off to first base on that last pitch that got away and picks up his bat and returns to the batter's box. So no play. I guess they ruled it dead for some reason or another. 1-1. Go back to the way it should be. Freeman goes to work, and the delivery swing and a miss. It is 1-2. Blank being played slightly to pull. He does hit to the opposite field a lot. Here a foul tip, and he'll stay alive against the lefty Freeman at 1-2. Clint Freeman, 6'1", 195 pounds from Jonesboro, Tennessee. He is 28 years of age. And again, has never played in a major league organization. We've seen a few used by Wally Backman here this weekend. They've had 14 contracts purchased this year at the Ducks. 1-2. Applin reaches out, pokes it nicely into left field. Nice piece of hitting for Andrew Applin. He has his 6th hit of the series. The leadoff man is on here in the 7th inning. Destin Hood's had himself an afternoon. He'll come to the plate. Hood is 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. Moving forward in this Barnstormers season, this is very nice to see. Today is game number 80. There are 60 to go. There is time to recover this season. Ground ball toward the hole at short and off the glove of the diving Frias. Hood will get his 3rd base hit of the day, and the Barnstormers have runners at first and second with nobody out for Hobson.
K.C. Hobson.
That whole play almost seemed to develop at a ridiculously slow pace. Ground ball hit toward the hole. Didn't seem to have a lot on it. Frias seemed to spin his wheels getting there, took the dive, and the ball trickled off his glove. Hobson to the plate with runners at first and second, nobody out. We're going to have a pinch runner for Destin Hood. Darian Sanford coming out. to take over at first base. Quite an afternoon for Destin. That is so good to see. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. And now he gives way to Sanford, which will not be a defensive move because Darian taking over for the designated hitter here. But you could think about moving Sanford into the outfield and losing the DH. The runners take off, the pitch is outside, and there's absolutely no chance to stop the double steal. Applin with his 5th stolen base, and Darian Sanford on the back end of a double steal, which you don't see very often, grabs his league-leading, now 39th stolen base of the year. 1-0 to Hobson. The infield draws in. Freeman to the plate. It's popped up foul and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hobson. Bell and De La Rosa will follow against Clint Freeman as the Barnstormers try to take a save opportunity away from Cody Epley. Hobson flied out deep to right back in the 4th inning. One time he's made solid contact today. The pitch, and KC looks at ball 2 inside. It is 2-1. And definitely clouds moving in. The sunlight is no longer a factor here. The glare has gone away, and it's not just because of the hour. KC awaits the 2-1 and looks at ball 3 off the inside corner. Bell will have the opportunity to bat right-handed against Freeman here in the 7th inning unless Backman makes a change. 3-1, and KC pops this up, foul and back of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ross, on the dugout report today, talked about how with Gamache gone, some combination of Hobson, Applin, and Hood will need to make big contributions. Well, we've certainly seen it from Applin and Hood today. Hobson, a foul ball back into my neighborhood, but above my head. It's almost inconceivable that one could get in this booth on the fly. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Barnstormers' first baseman. Applin, the runner, at 3rd, Hood at 2nd. Or Sanford, the pinch runner, at 2nd. Here is the 3-2. Hobson looks at ball 4 off the outside corner. Josh Bell will bat with the bases loaded and a chance to split this game open. Bell struck out all 3 times against McAvoy and Checo as a left-handed batter. Josh has had a respectable season from the right side of the plate, left-handed. He has just seemed terribly confused and taking a lot of pitches this year, getting himself in trouble. But right-handed, he's hit .284. Bases loaded, nobody out. Freeman will come to the plate, and Bell swings, lofting a fly ball to left. Myers is there in front of the track to make the play, but here comes Applin. He will score easily on a sacrifice fly. Bell drives in the run, his 14th ribby of the season, and it's now 8-4 here in the 7th inning. Runners are at 1st and 2nd. Who's that lead runner? It's Darian Sanford. What thoughts does he have about stealing 3rd base right now? Anderson De La Rosa will come to the plate with the stolen base, and one of the least electric stolen bases in the history of Darian Sanford, just cruising into 2nd on the back end of a double steal. That now ties him for 7th in Atlantic League history with 2 other one-time Barnstormers, Phil Antlentini and Wayne Lyden. Will he jump into sole possession of 7th place here? Sanford bobbing around off 2nd base. He doesn't go. The pitch is outside, a ball 1-0. By the way, that is the first time that Sanford has not taken off on the first pitch of an at-bat in this series. He's stolen 2nd and stolen 3rd on the first pitch. that he could every time. Popped up now by De La Rosa. That will be squeezed by Cabrera in fair territory. 2 outs, and Greg Golson will come in. Golson's having himself one heck of a day. 3 for 3, 3 singles. A run scored and a run batted in. Lancaster leading 8-4 with Sanford at second, Hobson at first, and 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Frias, Carrera, and Myers are the scheduled hitters in the bottom of the 7th, and I imagine that they will still see Cody Epley, though a save opportunity is no longer present. Lancaster ahead by 4. Golson wouldn't mind a 4th hit and a 2nd RBI right now. Greg with his 3rd 3-hit game of the season. 6th multiple hit game altogether. 2 outs, 2 on. Freeman will go to work, and a ball is high. Meanwhile, Darian Sanford, with a heat index of 104, just expended more energy bobbing around off second base than most people in the stands have combined. Very active out there, trying to distract Freeman. Golson batting at 1-0. Sanford shifting his weight back and forth and drawing Freeman's attention. Darian scrambles back into second without a throw. Sanford, one of those guys, when he's on your side, he's so much fun to watch. If he's on the other side, he's annoying. He takes off. The pitch is taken for a strike, and Darian Sanford is now the 7th leading base stealer in Atlantic League history. No throw made. His 40th stolen base of the year. His 11th since the new rules were put in place, and he's not getting on base that often. 1-1 to Golson. He drives a ball to right, hooking toward the corner. Back on this goes Mazzilli. He's got room, and he makes the catch for the final out. The Barnstormers are held to just 1 run in an active inning. They get 2 hits with no errors. 2 runners are stranded. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Barnstormers lead 8-4.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Howler Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands, or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets, or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
No save opportunity for Cody Epley, but he will work the bottom of the 7th anyway. Epley is 1-3 with 13 saves and a 3.71 earned run average. He's allowed 38 hits this year in 26 2/3 innings, walked 7, and he has struck out 24. He's facing Vladimir Frias, Ezekiel Carrera, and Darby Myers. Lancaster leading by 4. The Barnstormers with their biggest offensive output in quite some time here in this shortened, blistering hot Sunday game. 8-4. The Barnstormers enjoying the lead. Pedro Beato now out to coach first base with Hector Sanchez over at third. Vladimir Frias leading off. Frias 0 for 2. He grounded out against Anderson, lined out against Echemendia. Scott Schumann set down the side in order in the 6th inning on 2 groundouts to first and a called third strike. And he is, I am told, going to be the winning pitcher if the Barnstormers get these next 3 outs. The wind and the pitch to Frias. Ball 1 is off the outside corner. 1-0 to the switch hitting shortstop. So important for Epley to get the leadoff batter in an inning. And he will. It should be a fly ball to center. Caleb Gindel marching in to make the catch. Frias retired. That's out number 1. And it's one thing Epley certainly has done well this year. The leadoff man has only reached base against him 25% of the time. That's being pretty successful. And he's not walked the leadoff batter anytime he has come in. But that helps you out a lot as a closer. He's had a couple of really rough outings at High Point and one quirky blown save here. The batter is Carrera, who has walked twice and flied to center. 1 out, nobody on base. Epley delivers. That is off the glove of De La Rosa for a strike. And Carrera declines to run to first base. And 2 balls were thrown back at Epley. Poor Cody right there. The plate umpire, Tehran, and De La Rosa both threw a ball in Cody's direction. He starts swatting at them almost randomly. He didn't catch either one. Just guarding himself more than anything else. Scoreboard reads 1-0, but Tehran signaled a strike on that last pitch. It is, in fact, 0-1. Epley will go to work. Carrera, chopper on the right side. Chasing it into the hole is Hobson. He'll feed Epley perfectly. That's 2 outs. The Barnstormers 1 out from a victory here today. Darby Myers has had a big afternoon. He'll step in. Myers with a pair of doubles. He has scored 2, driven in 1. Lancaster 8, Long Island 4. The Barnstormers trying to avoid the series sweep here at Bethpage Ballpark. And this ball club right now savors any win. They've been so scarce over the last 5 weeks or so that Lancaster enjoys each and every one that it picks up. Myers stands in, 2 outs, nobody on base. Epley has survived a pair of left-handed batters. He goes to work on the right-handed hitting Myers, and this is knuckled out the right field. Coming on, Golson, he's there. The Barnstormers pick up a win in this shortened game on this Sunday here at Bethpage Ballpark. Lancaster with the victory. Will be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score, the Lancaster Barnstormers 8 and the Long Island Ducks 4.
Slowly and safely, make your way over to the first base side.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, The tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
The Barnstormers unleash an attack in the middle innings today and take advantage of a shortened game at Bethpage Ballpark, defeating the Long Island Ducks 8-4, the final score. Lancaster looking the best at the plate that the ball club has in a while, wrapping out a dozen hits. 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, 7 left for the Barnstormers. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and the Ducks strand 4. Scott Schumann awarded the win on the scoring discretion. He is 1-1 on the season. The loss goes to Kevin McAvoy, who falls to 0-3. Each club with a home run. Destin Hood leading off the 4th inning for the Barnstormers. That was the blow that gave the Barnstormers the lead initially. Hood with his 2nd home run here in the Atlantic League. TJ Rivera blasted a 2-run homer in the bottom half of the 5th inning, his 1st Atlantic League home run. 2 hours, 21 minutes, the time of the game, 41-16, the crowd at Bethpage Ballpark today. One of the unusual things about this season involving the Lancaster Barnstormers and seemingly a number of other clubs around the league is that the team that scores first loses. And we saw that again this afternoon. The Barnstormers actually got off to a horrendous start in today's game. They went down 1-2-3 in the 1st inning. Long Island came out. Ezekiel Carrera walked against John Anderson. Darby Myers doubled inside the bag at 3rd, driving in the run. Myers stole 3rd, scored on a single by TJ Rivera, whose ground ball hit the 3rd base bag. It was 2-0 in favor of the Long Island Ducks before you could blink. But Anderson never allowed another base hit through his 4 innings of work. The Barnstormers caught up in the 3rd inning. Greg Golson with a 1-out single into center field. Caleb Gindel picked up a 2-out walk, and Joe Terdoslavich crashed a double over the head of the center fielder Ezekiel Carrera to knot the game at 2. Hood's home run leading off the 4th inning, a ball that hit above the home run fence out in left center field and came back into the field of play, broke the tie in the 4th inning. The Barnstormers would go on to score again in that inning on a 2-out single to left by Anderson De La Rosa, a wild pitch, and Greg Golson's RBI base hit into right. Lancaster up 4-2 at that point. The starter McAvoy was greeted by 4 consecutive hits in the 5th inning. Caleb Gindel led off with a double into the right field corner. Joe Terdoslavich singled to right, sending Gindel to 3rd. Andrew Applin grounded a single into right field to score Gindel and extend the lead to 5-2. Terdoslavich and Applin advanced on a wild pitch, and with the infield drawn in, Destin Hood cracked the base hit past the lunging shortstop Vladimir Frias, driving in 2 more. The Barnstormers were up 7-2. There was a bit of a scare in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pedro Echemendia has been very reliable since joining the Barnstormers, but the first 4 batters that he faced in the ball game today hit the ball hard. Vladimir Frias lined out to Bell. Ezekiel Carrera flied out to fairly deep center field, and Gindel. Darby Myers then doubled to right center, and TJ Rivera homered to left. It was 7-4. LJ Mazzilli drew a walk, and that brought the tying run into the on-deck circle. Lou Ford couldn't continue the rally, though. He grounded out weakly to Josh Bell, ending the inning. Schumann and Epley took it home from there, both with 1-2-3 innings. The Barnstormers tacked on a run as Andrew Applin was driven in by a Josh Bell sacrifice fly in the bottom of the top of the 7th inning. The Barnstormers go on to defeat the Long Island Ducks by a final score of 8-4. Lancaster improving now to 2-8 in the second half of the season. The other Atlantic League games were all earlier. It was the York Revolution again in a 7-inning game over the New Britain Bees, 10-7. Somerset defeated High Point 4-1. And in the one game that went to 9 innings today, it was the Sugarland Skeeters over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs by a final score of 6-0. On the Major League scoreboard, it's been a busy Sunday at the big league level. The one game on the national TV tonight, the Atlanta Braves have jumped ahead of the Washington Nationals 2-0. Bottom half of the first inning, the Braves are trying to gain a split of that series. Cardinals beat the Reds 3-1 earlier. The Phillies outlasted the Pirates in 11 innings by a final score of 2-1. Minnesota rallied late to topple Oakland 7-6. The final in favor of the Minnesota Twins over the red-hot Oakland A's. The Astros defeated the Texas Rangers 5-3 this afternoon. It was the Padres knocking off the Cubs 5-1. San Francisco in 12 innings picked up a 3-2 victory over the New York Mets. The Giants are back to 500 on the year. Dodgers slammed the Marlins behind Buehler. 9-0 was the final score. Buehler, Kershaw, Ryu. How will anyone beat the Dodgers in a postseason series this year? That's hard to fathom. Brewers over the Diamondbacks 7-4 in the top of the 9th inning. The Angels knocked off the Mariners 9-3. Albert Pujols his 15th home run, and Mike Trout is 32nd in the game. Rockies double up the Yankees today, 8-4. The Red Sox were shut out by Baltimore, 5-0 in favor of the Orioles this afternoon. Tigers defeated the Blue Jays in 10 4-3. Tampa Bay with only 3 hits found those to be enough to beat the Chicago White Sox 4-2. The Indians slipped past the Kansas City Royals 5-4. And again, at the end of one, Braves leading the Washington Nationals 2-0. They have kids run the bases here at Bethpage Ballpark as well. And TJ Rivera out there with his little one trying to direct traffic, but the little one not old enough quite to follow the directions. And Rivera keeping an eye on the youngster, I would believe probably his, making sure that the child does not get leveled by the bigger kids coming around the bases. 8-4, the Barnstormers enjoy a victory over the Long Island Ducks on Getaway Day. This is our final visit to Bethpage Ballpark this season, so thanks to all the folks here on Long Island for their hospitality, from Frank Bolton, Michael Pfaff, through Jerry Anderson, Mike Pollock, and one of the great clubhouse managers in the business, the guy everybody else learns from in this league, Emil Caccaro. Thanks to everybody for their hospitality here. Now for Joey Greer, for all the cast and crew, back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. The Barnstormers on their way back home. They'll open a 6-game homestand Tuesday night against the Somerset Patriots. Join us on Blue Ridge 11 with the first pitch of Tuesday night's ball game at 7 o'clock. Have a great day off, everybody, and come Tuesday, we'll see you at the ballpark.